Welcome to First Take Math with Brian Thomas. My photographer today, or my video person, is Bridget. Today we're going to talk a little bit about subtraction. And the subtraction we're going to focus on is we're going to talk about subtraction using the concept of place value. I'm just going to model a few examples with you, and then that will pretty much conclude this lesson. So if I have 36 take away 22, I can model this as 36 as a 30 and a 6, or 30 plus 6. And instead of saying take away 22, I can say take away 20 and take away 2. Now once I do the math like this, I'm allowed to do this math mentally. And again, just like money, I'd probably go with 30 take away 20. 30 take away 20 would be 10. And then I would probably add 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. And then I would subtract 2. And that should give me 14. So, traditionally we've learned it, you just go column by column. 6 minus 2 would be 4. 3 minus 2 would be 1. You get to 14. But there's a little bit more meaning with it if you do it as place value. It's a little bit more real worldish here. The next example I want to look at is 502 take away 175. And I want to look at this two ways. The first way, we're going to break it down by place value. So I have a 500, no 10s, and a 2 for 2 ones. I'm going to take away 100, I'm going to take away 70, and I'm going to take away a 5. Now, doing it mentally, we can go any direction we want to go. So again, I would probably go 500 take away 100 would be 400. 400 take away 70, a little more challenging. 400 take away 70 would be 330. Instead of adding 2, I would probably subtract 5. 330 take away a 5 would be 325, and then I would add that 2 and get 327. Another way to do the problem is, again, you can write it down the same way, a 500, a 0, and a 2. Take away 100, take away 70, and take away 5. We also can do this by what we call borrowing. So if I look at it column by column, right now, I really don't want to do 2 minus 5. That creates confusion. If I can make all these numbers larger than these bottom numbers, the math becomes a little bit easier to do. So since I can't do 0 take away 70, I'm allowed to take 100 off of this 500, which brings us to 400, and I can add 100 over here. This math is now doable, but this math still isn't. So I'm allowed to borrow a 10 from the 100 and make that a 90, since I'm in the tens place. And I can add a 10 to the 2 and make that a 12. So I now have that math. And then I can come across here and go, well, 12 minus 5 is then a 7. 90 minus 70 would be a 20. A 400 take away 100 would be 300. And if I add those together, that should get me back to 327. Okay. Now, if we come back to this problem, traditionally we've learned it as we start on the right-hand side and try to start subtracting. But notice how we can't do 2 minus 5. We are allowed, though, to come over here and borrow. But remember, this is in the hundreds place, so I can't just bring this all the way over here. It's easier to just bring it place value by place value. So I could change this to a 4, and I could bring this over as then a 10. Or 10 100ths, if you will. Or 10 tens would be 100. And then I could borrow from the 10, make that a 9, and then change this to then a 12. And then we could come down here and do our subtraction again and get our 7, our 2, and our 3. And you kind of see, even I fumble with explanations of this. It's almost like on cruise control. I really don't know what I'm doing, I just do it. Over here, I really can see the math play out. And so, if you have trouble with subtraction, I would encourage you to use the place value strategy. Well, thank you for your time, and this concludes our lesson.